Hey everyone. Well, I made it back home. My new home, as am now calling it. At this point, my stuff isn't even here yet, but I'm gonna get that in next week. So I'm so happy. I kind of had a weird afternoon, but you'll see in my videos, my other channel and this channel, of what's going on. I'm gonna try and get things more organized on both channels. But what I'm doing now, I've got my stuff behind me for my gardening, so stay tuned for those videos as well. But for now, I still boxes that have to either go in garbage or storage somewhere. I'm still figuring things out in the house and getting it cleaned up and getting my stuff in and make sure that his stuff goes in a certain area. But anyway, I still have muck in my hair from going to my EEG today. And so I'm gonna have to rewash my hair. I just washed it today. Farge. What a fucking bitch. She was getting on my nerves. Anyway, watch those videos. You'll see I was trying to restrain myself. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm going to peel some potatoes, make some scallop potatoes, scallop Alfredo potatoes, because I have some of that left over and I've got some cheese. I'll put some onions, but stay tuned for the next portion and I'll just record it. But for now, yeah, it's Friday. I have the whole place myself. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. I'm like all by myself in the whole house. And so I'm just going to take the weekend off, take it easy, take the weekend off as I have clean up, vacuum, clean, vacuum again, sweep, mop, do around 2-3 times, at least 3. And then it'll stop tracking dirt needlessly all over the place. And then it'll be nice and clean so that when I rent the place out and I say, okay, well, this room is 400, that one's 500, and that one's 600. Simple. Then they'll know why, because the place is nice and clean and has nice things, all the amenities that one would call home. So, yeah. See you in a bit, and we'll get cutting these potatoes, peeling them. Got nice knives here till I get my stuff. Even these are nicer. And yeah, see you in a bit. Let's peel these potatoes. ASMR. He had some potatoes sitting in a drawer. He's not going to be here for a good, how many weeks is it? 6-7 weeks. In 6 or 7 weeks, I don't think these will be the same sitting in a drawer. So I took the potatoes and put them in the fridge, crisper. Now, because I grow my own potatoes, I know that these potatoes are not as good. So I do I like to go in rotation and take one row out at a time. I don't take them all out at the same time. So I get the luxury of having the small ones first. And then towards the end, I get a combination because of the way I grow my potatoes. And I'll give you the hint right now. It's something to do with pinching. So I crop the top off once it flowers. I crop all the top of the green off. And what happens is you end up getting some small baby potatoes that start growing right away. And the baby potatoes that we're going to be putting to grow this year to make more potatoes, those ones will make seeds. Whereas if I were to take something like this and take this part, cut it here, take this part, put it in the ground, it will grow potatoes. But it'll just make seed pod seeds. But those won't be good to grow potatoes the next year. You actually need a mature seed coming from a potato that's been grown from that seed. If that makes sense. I think it is. I hope it is. Not good. Not good, but not bad. We're not going to throw it in the garbage, are we? No need for that. But like I said, I will cut off all anything that looks like it's drying up, or the thicker part of the skin that's been bruised too much. This one's okay. That one I would have boiled. I'm gonna have to add some more potatoes because I want to make a small potato casserole to go with my liver. I bought some liver. I like eating liver every now and then. So I've been buying different things and very tight on money. So I bought noodles and liver and got a lot of things to go in the pantry along with what I brought from my place, from my apartment. And like I said, there's like a full bag of it. Well, no, let me see. About a 10-pound bag of potatoes that were going off. But as I showed you, they're still edible. And then about I guess a 5-pound onions. So you know we're gonna be making some French onion soup. Nice soup. I like actually putting a little potato in my French onion soup just to make it more of a meal. I used to like putting a nice chunk of pork in there. I'd buy chuck pork, fry it, nice sear on there, fry it up, cook it up, and then slice it, and then put that in the French onion soup, and then some potatoes, the pork, where they put the electrodes or whatever they call it. Here. They put it on my head in the back. I shouldn't have bragged how I cleaned my hair and washed it nice of all the oils. That was the point of saying how I had washed my hair, but didn't put any cream or oil on the scalp, but only on the other part. She made sure to put big dollops of fucking shit, claiming it was glue. I'm like, why are you putting that on my hair? She's like, oh no, I'm not putting it on your hair. It has to go on your scalp. I'm like, exactly. So what's with all that? My hair. I actually took a bunch out. This is the residue of what I took out. So watch that video of me at the doctor's office. I recorded me having the EEG and what happened when she started doing some kind of strobe-like action. And I was telling her, I think I said something prior that, uh-oh, I don't think this is going to be good. And she kept going anyway. Let me go see. Let me see the container I'm going to use for this. And casserole dish. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my casserole dish. Again, the owner has given me free reign of everything that's here. And I actually am on duty, as it were. Not right now, actually. I'm not going to be doing anything this week until I clean this place up. I can't get my stuff out of storage and bring it here. But in the meantime, it was such a mess at my storage, I might have to look into possible damages to my goods that where they put my leather furniture, my leather couch, because of cold, getting cold and then warm, cold and warm. If they set things on the leather, that's going to stretch the leather and possibly damage the whole freaking kit and caboodle. And I will not be a happy girl because I had made reference to it before I even hired them. So that's what happened. And let me not get into it anymore because I'm already getting in a bad mood at the idea of what it looks like. Because what I saw at this point is the stuff is all helter-skelterly thrown up into it. Just throw up, just barf. Shit, chunks, big chunks, little chunks everywhere, just like not even organized. And that fucking pisses me off. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. You better hope that shit isn't worse than what I haven't imagined it to be, because I don't even want to think about it. The stuff that I did bring out is so scratched and fucked up in different boxes. Anyway, like I said, let me not get upset about this. So we're gonna make a nice potato casserole. I'm gonna make it almost like a tiny bit of a lasagna, whatever, however you want to say it, layered. So I'll put the sweet potatoes on the bottom and some carrot. Look at this. Ouch. That is not a happy carrot. And some onion. And I haven't decided what sauce, what type of wetness I'm going to use. But I am, oops, I keep forgetting I'm not supposed to be talking. I am going to either add plain milk with a tiny bit of spices, not much, so a little bit of garlic some, what happened there? Got an itchy nose. Garlic powder. I don't think I have garlic salt. No, I have garlic salt. And I was thinking of using some sauce that I had, some Alfredo sauce. But because I'm now putting carrot and the sweet potato and the regular potato would work. I'm having my first drink here. Oh, actually, I had some wine the other day. And I ended up getting a headache from drinking 2/3 of the bottle. Towards the end, I was getting a tiny bit of a headache. That's not good. Who wants to drink if that happens? So I figured I just called it that it was cheap ass wine that I bought. If it doesn't have a cork, it's cheap ass wine. But I bought it anyway. And other than that, I bought some more wine today to thank me for getting out any riffraff that's going to endanger or damage my items when they're moved in. I want to have roommates and or slash staff, because we're going to be employing those bastards. Anytime they're not working, they're going to be working for us. So he does some kind of work. I do contract work. So I'm sure we'll be able to get these people to help out. Whoa. And get them to work for extra money. It helps everybody out. Other than that, I need another potato. Let me be right back. And, this is heavy. Show you how I make my potato casserole. That's heavy already. It's Pyrex. I love Pyrex. So I added another potato, and we're gonna put some more, put some onion in the mix of making my potato casserole layered mix. I haven't decided yet if it's gonna be cheesy. I think it is, because I'm just that kind of girl. So, with that, let me get cutting. The potatoes in the fridge are very cold. Again, I'm doing a thick cut because these are old potatoes. Those potatoes had grown out of my garden. I would kill you if you cut the peel off my potato. If I made that potato, I grew that, and you're cutting part of it off. You're not my friend. So with that, let's get some onion. And hopefully not cry about anything. I might need one more potato. Maybe I'm bad for that. Making more than one that's the thing I usually cover my food with so that it doesn't get cold. Cold as fast. But it's actually used for the microwave so things don't splatter. So it's a multi-purpose use, which I have one, and they have one here. So, with that, what my point is look at all this. This is soil, people. Don't throw this out if you don't have to. So in my next episodes, watch for that I will be getting a compost bin going. Right now, I just have too much going on. It is an easy fix. I can fix this, I can use something and start a bin going. But until I get my stuff out of storage, I'll just use my own things. And I'll grab a corner, I'll do something, I'll get things going. Which he's already been forewarned that I'm going to be planting things and wanted to make a garden until the place is actually sold. Which this party doesn't know, but until it's sold, I'm using this space. And I'm going to make sure everybody who rents the space has a little bit of a space to use to call their own. So that's what I envision for now until it's sold, in which the way I plan to do it, it will be easily fixed or seeds put in so that it grows grass. And so yeah, I just want to really, I'm so happy to be in a house again. I'm not used to living in an apartment, which I lived in for the last 2.5 years. And since this concussion, sometimes I feel like it's still getting worse. And the side that I hit my head, sometimes I feel like I get a funny feeling on that side of my face still, where I feel like I'm having, I don't know what you call it. I feel like I'm having, anyway, today I had to go to the doctor's. I went for an EEG, and she got to a point in the session. She did a strobe light thing, that's what I'm gonna call it. That's what I'll call it from now on. Ever since she did the strobe light, I feel bad again. I feel bad like I did when I initially got my concussion. Within the first 3 to 5 weeks of my concussion, it was difficult to talk, and I had a hard time getting my thoughts together. And I'm just saying, I'm making a nice meal. Remember, compost if you can. But I put my mushrooms. Oopsie. I put the mushrooms. Anyway, they have to go in the fridge. Let me do that. In the back. Wash these up. This is the lid. Once I finish cooking, I can, oops. Once I finish cooking my food, I can put that lid on this. Whoopsie. Oh, this is heavy. He's got all the things that I love. So happy. Crime paste. Follow my videos. Just have to, you know what I mean? You don't want to do crime. Don't get me wrong. Don't do crime. But I'm just saying, don't let people walk over you either. Anyways, so a little bit of garlic. It's starting to grow. We're gonna put that in something to get it growing. Wow. I'm gonna make a mess here right now. In the meantime, I'm gonna take a piece of garlic. Put it in a dry casserole dish, preferably. So it's gonna be dry. You want it dry, but I don't have anything clean yet. I haven't stabilized myself here. I need to have everything clean. This place is so freaking dirty. Until that I have done certain clean things where my stuff is going, especially my food. Ugh, gross. There was a mouse in a mouse trap for several days, and the owner, and if you're listening, owner, you know yourself, and he's like, oh, it's okay, it's still alive. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, it's still able to move, so it's not been dead that long. It's like, that just means they're freaking around. And so I tell the roommate, please stop eating in the bedroom. Could we isolate to where the crumbs are going to be at the kitchen and our eating space in the living room, or dining room I meant here. And he's like, she did not abide. And I was like, oh no, I cannot be going around in circles chasing mice, trying to put salt on the mice. What, am I going to be eating them for supper? No. Anyway, enough with that riffraff. Let me just tell you, what you'll do is take the butter or oil. I'm going to take butter, enough, because it's just to pad the bottom of the casserole dish. So again, it's preferably going to be a dry surface. What I'll do is I'll add a little bit of oil just to get it started so that it's not oh, dang it. Now that happened. Don't worry, nobody got hurt. Whoa, a tiny splash, which is nice. Whoa. What will happen now is it will adhere to the surface. I hope you can see. Let me move my stuff around a bit. So you're gonna take a little bit of oil, if you have to, unless it's melted butter, but I kind of don't mind because we're using potatoes. So we're going to do a coating of the butter and oil at the bottom so the potatoes do not stick. So you're going to put that on there. Like so. So that's the way I do it. So we're going to make, it's not a lasagna, but we're making a potato casserole. And then in between the potatoes, which is going to be a sweet potato, I'll be putting a little bit of carrot, onion. How's that sound for somebody who's not vegan? Or whatever all these terms are. I'm just using food in the cupboard. I bought about okay, so anyway, enough of that. I bought what? I bought food today about so much worth of money, and my costs were down and my luxury was up because I'm getting to just use stuff that's already here. I'm going to cut this garlic up a tiny bit. Oops, I should have done it closer. So you're gonna do that. Don't cut your fingers if you don't know what you're doing. And then you're gonna use this like a brush, you know? You're gonna cut it up. Oopsie. If I can stay focused on what I'm doing here, apart from trying not to cut my fingers. So you're gonna do that, make it like bristles. Now, you're gonna take this and brush your casserole dish up and aside the walls of your dish. Pat it on there. Make sure every spot is good and coated. And so what you went back to get a little bit of your butter and oil mix, you're now mixing all the goodness of the garlic So if you're somebody who does not like garlic, that's where you're going to stop. You're not going to put any more. You will grab any big pieces that may have come off, and you'll do that, and that's the end of it. But you must not miss this step. Even if you hate garlic, you have to put this garlic coating on your scallop potato casserole. Rinda's bastardized casseroles. You must do that with every casserole. So remember that part. Now, if you're somebody who does not mind this garlic, which I love, excessive garlic, and since I've got my home to myself, I am gonna be me. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. And I am going to use this. I'll just put it on here for a second and put my potatoes first. But I'm gonna layer that after I put the onion, a little bit of onion. I will. I think I'm going to do the potatoes first and put a layer and then the other ones next, just so that they're not mixed up. So let me get a little closer to you so you can see what I'm doing. Hold on. Oh, how come my nose is weird today? I did go out. Okay, trying to get this from this angle. Oh, okay, that. Oh goodness, what am I doing, girlfriends? I know there's ladies out there saying, "Girl, do it this way, do it that way." Is it okay if I put it like that? Okay, but I want to be in the picture. Wait a minute here. I don't want to dirty my shite up. Okay. Whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to do there. Okay, let me just do this. This knife is sharp. Whoa. Because I have damn butterfingers for real this time. Oh, I don't know why my nose is like, damn it. Especially after I go out, I do wash my hands and my face. Oh, I'm not used to this knife. Oh. make sure when you're cutting your potatoes to make them all equal portion, equal size. A little bit smaller is okay, but too big is not good, because then you'll get chunks of portion of potato is not cut through, unless you cook it for the period that should be, I guess. Ooh, this gives my hand a crick because I'm not used to it. Mine is a smaller unit that I use. Oh, ow, ow. I've got arthritis through my body. I'm not as old as I look. So my body reacts to the temperature. Ouch! And things that I do, which I've been doing things that I don't normally do, which is moving, cleaning a whole big house, because there's some girl that likes to have poop parties, spread poop everywhere on her clothes and on the chair and in the bed and in the chair, in her room and everywhere. Oh my God. And then get mad at you because you're trying to clean it for her. It's like, no, that's enough of that. That's not something I've been trained for. That's not something I want to be trained for. I didn't want health care. I didn't do poopy pants. I couldn't even do poopy pants at any time. I don't like poopy pants. I don't like animals because of that, the unfortunate thing. I will not own one because I don't want to clean up that. I know I can't do it. It's too gross. It's good enough to clean my own house. Anyways, so you're going to keep cutting these potatoes till your freaking hands hurt. Ow. And you're going to keep doing that. And I will see you in a bit because I probably cut too much. And I'll keep cutting it some. And at this point, I still have an onion, another potato, a couple of carrots, and this sweet potato. And I'll come back with showing you how I did with that and how I stick it in, how to stick it in to this bowl and in the casserole dish, and use the remaining of that onion that we did to cover your casserole dish. So if you like garlic, what am I saying? If you like garlic, you're gonna add 2 to 3 cloves, or just even 1 more, so you don't taste the garlic really, if you love garlic. But otherwise, if you want to have a garlic flavor in your potatoes, I wouldn't recommend it. But you will add a tiny bit of garlic. You need to have a tiny bit of garlic because that's what gives the flavor, along with the salt and pepper. It's an added must. Because also I'm going to be adding Alfredo sauce instead of just regular milk. So I'm going to water that down with some milky Alfredo sauce. I'll put milk in sauce, and I'll see you in a bit. So it turns out that it looks like I probably have too much for the casserole dish. So what I'm going to do is put some water. Keep those potatoes for tomorrow. Then I'll probably make potatoes to go with my bacon and eggs for my Saturday morning breakfast. So I look forward to that. Let me mix this a bit so I can get smaller pieces so it kind of gets together. So you're just gonna make a layer on the bottom of your dish, and you're going to very slightly overlap it so that it's sticking together. So any of the bigger pieces you'll put in one layer, and then the smaller tiny pieces you'll put that as the pieces to cover the holes of the larger pieces. So that's what you're gonna do, like so. Don't worry, I'll get things set up better that you can see what I'm doing. So we're just going to do that. And so I'm going to put enough that I cannot see the bottom of my dish. And you're going to take your time, do it right. Like I said, put it directly to the bottom of the dish so that none of the spots are missing an area. So here we go. That looks like enough. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of onion on here. Oh, this is very awkward for me. This knife. I don't want my onions to be too thick at all. But you'll put just a tiny bit, a layer. Ouch. Oh, I had a long day. So, like that. Spread out, break them up a little bit if you have to. I'm not really in the mood for onion, though it's an ingredient you have to put in your casserole. Again, it's just not something you can miss out on. So I'm going to continue layering that with actually some onion, what am I saying? Some sweet potato, some carrot, sweet potato, carrot, whatever, layered that way. A tiny bit of onion between that and some more potato. I'm going to layer it like a lasagna, if you want to call it like that. And I will be back shortly. So just get this sweet potato on here. Do a layer of that. It doesn't matter if a couple of the sweet potato are a tiny bit big, because the sweet potato is soft. When it cooks, it'll cook nicely. But you don't want to put too much in between if you don't want that flavor, because it will give a nice flavor of the sweet potato. So I think that's about enough what I need for that. A little bit of carrot. Ouch. That hurts my hands. I have some glue now that I have access to. So I have a tiny little tripod. So, ouch. I'll try and get this going better so that you can see what I'm doing. So, yeah, let's put a little bit of onion, because onion makes a nice flavor. Ouch, ouch. I have arthritis in my body, they tell me. Oh. And when it is moist and the temperature is a certain way outside, I do feel it in my body. So I have to admit, I seem to have the symptoms of this arthritis I kept hearing about when I was younger. Now, some potato. I did not rinse the potato a second time when I originally cut the potatoes and the peelings off. Now, these parts, you're going to put the straight edge parts along the edge of the wall of your casserole dish, and that helps it to cook nicely. Just so you know. And then you're putting the other spots in between, like I said. So it's better to have less than more when your ingredients are something like this that you don't want to make too much. Because, I mean, I need the potatoes for this dish, not for something else. At this point, I didn't rather have stuff for breakfast. I just get the potatoes then to make for my dish then. Just in case I change my mind and make like a crepe instead. But anyway, so layer that on there so I don't see what's underneath. Turns out I am gonna need another couple of potatoes. So, push that down. Some more potatoes, and I'll just pause this video for a bit while I get that going. Oh, actually, I guess I could do this part with you, which we'll get some more of the sweet potato. Get it layered on there. Going around in a circle so I get a little bit of the goodness from both sides, since again this was something that was slightly going off, but that just means there's more nutrients in it. Where is the light in here? Let me see what's going on. Oh, here we go. If I put that there, then you can't see me. So, sorry. So I'll start doing some more cooking shows, so you see that what I'm making. Oh, very awkward, this knife. Ouch. Can you see me? Ouch. Oof, I need a mandolin. Ow, 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 ow. All right. Some carrots. Oof. It's a little thicker than I wanted, but okay. Spread those around. And some more onion. Oh. Ouch. Ouch. So, with your oven, you're going to preheat your oven to 475 degrees. And then, once it's rang, that it's ready, it's hot enough, you're going to turn it down to 400. And you will let it cook for about, I think about 40 minutes to an hour. A good hour should do it. And I'm going to put another layer of potatoes on here. And then I'm going to also put some sauce. I'm going to be putting, I should have put a layer of some flour, but I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Let me cut these up and we'll do that right away. I'll see you in a minute. Any blemishes that you see, just take it off, discard it, put it in your compost. But don't waste your potatoes, don't waste the food. There's people out there starving or without things that we take for granted. But on the flip side, for granted that I have a nice place that I can use freely and enjoy it while I can till I get some people in, some tenants. So look forward to that. So I have company, stuff to do. I can turn into a family affair. So let me put another layer of potatoes on here till I don't see the orange. And hopefully when I cut it, when it's done, it'll look so nice. I guess I needed all these potatoes after all. Push it down, try and get them all to settle into each other. So that when you cook it, it will be perfect. Voila! Now, we had some garlic that was left over. Here's that. So, now, I'm going to use the rest of the Alfredo sauce. And I'm going to mince some garlic. That is already open. Some puree that I had. Oh. So I'm going to stick that in there because I love garlic. I'm just going to use the rest of this because I am going to be making something a lot of people don't like. I'm going to be making some. Actually, I'm not going to put any powder. I'm not going to use any. put some pepper so that it gets in the mix. So it soaks in. Not too much salt because this has salt in it. Mix that up. And then let that drizzle. Make sure that you push down the sides a bit so that it soaks in nicely. Just do that, and it will make its way down to the bottom as it cooks. It will get through the rest of it. Whoopsie. So, that's what you're gonna do. Make sure it's nicely coated. The cooking process will do the rest. Et voila. You can kind of make a crevice just to get some in there. Oof. It's getting all over the counter. Alrighty. Don't want to mess up my decoration too much here. What I was tempting to do to start with so that it wouldn't do that. Then I got distracted, I guess. I forgot what I was doing. So you're going to pull the potatoes away from the edges a bit so that the sauce can get in there. Otherwise, the optimum thing to do is don't do what I do. Make sure that you layer the sauce. Layer the sauce in between, and don't put it in at the last minute. Yeah, that's what happens. Trying to show you how to cook when I don't know how to cook. Is that possible? So, that's what happened there. It's going to be a nice scallop potato Alfredo. So stay tuned, and let's get back to you after I wipe this mess up a bit. Wipe around the sides so that it doesn't get cooked on and a yucky mess. So see you in a bit. This is taking quite a long time, so whoa. Don't get your jewelry in the mix either. Mm-mm. No. Take the liver. I don't have my own cutting board, so unfortunately I cannot use the cutting board that's here because it's a little too nasty for my liking. Cut this liver on the plate. Like I said, it's kind of firm now because I put it in the freezer and you're able to cut it. So I'm gonna make kind of like fingers if you want to call it that way. See? You can't cut it otherwise. So you have nice pieces. I haven't had liver in so long. Who likes liver? Put in the comments who likes liver. Ooh, look how big a piece I got. Not too much of the whatchamacallit, the damn it. I can't think straight right now. I guess because I'm hungry. There's not too much of the veiny stuff. So that's kind of hard to eat. These are beautiful. Yep. So get that cut, because that's the way I feel like having it today. So I can go back and have some later. I'm going to make it into a nice I don't know what you call it. It's gonna be good though. Whatever it turns into. I don't have all the ingredients I need, but we're just gonna make do. Ow! Ow! Hot, hot, hot. So, let me put this in some milk. So you're gonna let it sit in milk. And if you have your own recipe or way of doing it, well, by all means, add what you like. I'm just going to let it sit in here because the potato mix is going to take a while to cook. So I'll let some of the flavor of the irony taste come off of this by putting it in the milk. Seems to work. You don't want to waste too much milk, so just have it perfectly covered. You don't need it swimming in there. If a tiny bit of the meat is sitting up above the milk, that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. So you can even put a cover on that and put it in the fridge. But because I'm going to be eating it right away and it was frozen, I'm just going to let it sit on the counter with a plate over it, not to waste the wrap. So, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we've got the potato casserole done. And as I said, I'm having a hard time cutting on this cutting board that's available. And hopefully you know why. It's not mine. I don't cut on plastic boards like that. And the ones I do cut on are mine, and I know what has been cut on, and I know how I clean it. But anyways, long story short, let's get cooking some liver, which I've been soaking in milk. So that sat there after being frozen, or I put it to past freezing in the freezer so that I could cut it because liver is too soft. And this is the setup I have right now. Sorry, you'll have to work with me. We're gonna have this liver. I'm gonna cut up some onions, cut up some mushrooms. We're gonna make sort of a yummy sauce. Instead of beef, it's gonna be liver. And that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna get going on that. Got some onion here. I know I washed that. Some onions go well with the liver. Hands are wet. Anyway, so we got that. Some onions. What's going on here? just taking the schmuck off. You don't want to wet your mushrooms. At least I don't. So I just take off the stuff that I think is anything that I don't want to have. And that's my way of prepping it. And then I will cut off the end. So I think my battery is dying on my phone. So if the video stops, you'll know why. It's a new phone I got. Cheap one for only, I think it was $300, $250, maybe $250. I don't know. Cheap. $350. I don't think it was $450. So you guys need to help me out. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to share and tell everybody who is here so that I get out there and make some money off the fun videos that I make for you. So like I said, this is how I clean my mushrooms. So we're making some liver, and I've got some onions cut. Oopsie. And the mushrooms going. I would have seen it later anyway. Yeah, that's the way I clean my mushrooms. I just do a light brush. Usually there's a little brush you can buy. But if you're too cheap like me and don't bother with all that fluff, just scrape off any residue and anything that doesn't look like something you want on there. Cut off the edge. That's ready. Oopsie. This can be used, recycled for something if you want. But I can recycle it by using it as a little garbage bin. Have it there for now. I'm going to rinse my little fingers. Squish my squish this liver, beautiful liver that I bought at the local Chinese market. Anyway, so I'm going to rinse it a bit with cold water, making sure it's cold, not hot, and rinse off some of the schmuck, the milk, and the schmucky maybe pea or whatever would have been in the liver that it was siphoning out. So it is very cold. That. That rinsed off. cold. Very nice here in this house. Woo! When it's cold, and when it's hot, it's hot. That's cold on my hands. I'm thinking of the poor animal. Thank you, animal. Thank you, cows, for giving your life for me. Continue mine. That's nice. Irony flavor, but it's actually not that bad. That's good. That's it. And I will see you in a little bit.